This is the Q1 Pro, the successor to the original 7Hz Zero, and I kind of dig it. Now, it's not perfect by any means, it is only $40, so don't expect anything crazy tech-wise, right? But EPZ did indeed improve the driver inside, which has better clarity over the original Zero. The overall sound of the Q1 Pro is pretty much the same as the Zero, but it fixes the peaks in the treble that some people found, a bit sharp and metallic at times. So expect a very familiar, clean, and well-balanced sound where the vocals and the mids are the highlight of the show. They're pretty open, they're extended, they're clear, and they're great for like ballads, acoustics, indie, and female vocals. Now the bass on the other hand is on the lighter side of things, not ideal for hip-hop, EDM, rock, or low-end heavy tracks, but the overall control and like the punchiness is still there, but just not enough in my opinion for those low-end heavy tracks. In terms of overall resolution, the driver EPZ is using is more resolving than the one on the Zero. You can hear the small nuances better, the notes are a little bit more clear, and if I were to place it, the Q1 Pro would be around the same tech as the EW200, which is good, but just not as V-shaped, so if you want more engagement in the low end, then the EW200 is still going to be like the better all-rounder for most genres. The vocals on the Q1 Pro can also get a bit too much at higher volumes on some like J-pop and K-pop tracks because of the upper mids emphasis on the Q1 Pro, as well as just the nature of the vocal production and mixing on K-pop and J-pop songs. So it doesn't scale too well at higher volumes, but at mid volume it's not an issue. It's pretty enjoyable, and if you want that clean sound, then these would be a good pick. In terms of layering and separation, the Q1 Pro is also probably one of the best under $50 because it is so clean. You can easily pick out like the different instruments that otherwise would have gotten like hidden away by the extra low end from the EW200 or even the Red and the R2. And just like with the updated better driver, it makes the Q1 Pro a better version of the original Zeros. Basically, if you already have the Zero and you want the same sound but just like a little bit better in the clarity and the resolution and a little bit less sharp, then that's what the Q1 Pro was literally made for, and why in my opinion it's the direct upgrade from the original Zero. But before we move on, this video is sponsored by you guys. You guys know the drill. I buy most of the stuff I review in order to try to say I'm biased as much as possible, but I'm not rich, I can't buy everything, so I do need your guys' help, and you can help me by becoming a channel member. It's only $5 a month. I do regular giveaways there, but back to the video. Now, as for some other comparison, the ARTTI R2 is another all-rounder like the EW200 and the Red as well, but versus the Q1 Pro, the R2 is warmer. Like, it's not warm or bassy, but just warmer than the Q1 Pro because the Q1 Pro is pretty clean, right? And the R2 is also less extended when it comes to the vocals, and it scales the best out of like the three. Basically, the ARTTI is a less sharp version of the EW200, as they're essentially the same besides like the little bit of treble on the EW200. Whereas on the other hand, the Q1 Pro would be a cleaner version of the EW200 with more vocal emphasis, less bright, and in terms of like pure vocal enjoyment, I would take the Q1 Pros over both the R2, EW200, and the Red at mid volume. However, as an all-rounder, the R2 and the EW200 are going to be better in general. They have more low end, they're less forward in the vocals as well, which gives the sound more flexibility, better for more genres. And I would personally actually just avoid the Red entirely, since the EW200 and the R2 are basically just better versions of the Red, better all-rounders. I mean, if you want something smooth, then sure, the Red is still fine, but it's just too safe and boring in my opinion, not engaging enough like the EW200 and the ARTTI R2. On the other hand, if your library has a lot of acoustics, ballads, indie, slow rock, instrumentals, and you listen around 65 to 80 dBs, then the Q1 Pro would be a good pick, as it highlights the vocals and the instruments pretty well for its price, and the design also looks the best in my opinion as well. It's pretty nice. Now, if you want something warmer or bassier, then these are obviously not the set for you. You'd be better off with like the Z300, the QKZ HBB, and if you wanted that subwoofer bass, you have the KZ Caster as well. Please don't buy the Singolos. And then lastly, if you just want a shit ton of bass, Ross Finch is good at mid volume, and the Hades is good if you want to blast your brains out. But yeah, just a quick video. I hope you guys found this helpful, and I'll see everyone in the next one, which hopefully will be the Symphonium Titan. Yes. Thanks for watching. Shout out to Jeff Young, RoarX Cat, Dom Q, Gatamino Baldo, Star Buccaneers, Joel Pink, Wipe Your Buttocks, The Skull Stardust, B_Urac, Mystic Spoon Attack, Cyborg, Oh Really, Walker Standard, User _YT_158, Ernest, Contain Guava Juice Gains, Patrick Bell Cell Kel, Rosa the Calf, Perijat, Polly J, Mr. Gorillas, Antoristo, Giz Seng Young, Tamat Pafrase, Ed, Harry, Christopher, and Federico. Thank you guys so much, and sorry for butchering any of you guys' name. Bye bye.